Hi guys, how are you? Bricks Nostalgia here. Today, in this video I would like to show you how I managed to run a 9-volt power function motor on a vintage 9-volt truck. This video is a follow-up of a video I already posted about a month ago where I showed how I managed to run a 12-volt motor on a 9-volt truck. So I will be quite fast in this video, and if there is something that you can't really understand, feel free to go back to watch the other video first and then go back to this one. You should see the link to the previous video on screen right now. So let's get started straight away. I already removed the screws here that hold the bottom panel, so we're gonna remove also the decorative sides, and we'll go back to these later on in the video. Let's remove the panel and let's have a quick look at what's going on inside here. Now, first of all, I'm going to talk about the wheels, but what I wanted to do first is make a consideration about this orange piece that you see here. Now, this orange tube is the tube that holds the wheels, and there is a gear molded into it. This means that once the motor is running, it will be this whole section that spins. Why do I point this out? It's because this way, this allows me to find a very simple way to plug these non-Lego wheels into it. And what I did was just wrap a bit of electrical tape around these axes and then push the whole thing inside until I was finding myself having a hole of the right size. Now this whole thing is going inside fairly smoothly, and there's also enough friction for it to be stable and follow up the spin of this orange piece. Okay, then what I do, which is the same thing that I did in the previous video, I got a piece of copper tape that I took from any random cable that also you might have in your house, and as you can see over here, I wrapped it around both wheels, and then to these pass it over these contact of the motor. Now, as you can see, there is one contact over here and there is another contact over here, and as you might have noticed, I plugged or I connected the wheels that are here on the right side of the screen to the contact that is on the left side of the screen. I had to do this, and I did the same here for the wheels on the left with the contact on the right, because this has to be done this way in order to get the motor to run in the same direction of an original 9-volt motor. This also will explain why you see a little bit of electrical tape. It's to make sure that the wiring, the two wires, the one related to the wheels on the left and the ones related to the wheels on the right, don't touch each other, and therefore there's no short circuit created. So as you can see here, I wrapped around the electrical tape on this side. It's passing under this electrical tape and it's touching this contact here on the right. Then I have this second wire here that is passing over on top of the electrical tape in order to that passes over the electrical tape and make sure that there's no contact between the two wiring. Once I've done that, I'm just gonna add an extra piece of electrical tape on top to make sure everything remains in place and doesn't move around. Okay, pretty much this is everything there is to it. This method is even simpler than the previous one that I showed in the other video. The last thing I would like to talk about is the decorative sides. Now, if you try the motor on a layout, it will work very fine, it will work at a very high speed, and there will be no problems in it pulling wagons. The problem specific to these wheels is anyway that if you add the decorative sides, you're gonna have to deal with the problem that these wheels are a bit too thick, so there will be some friction. You will have to deal with some friction between wheels and decorative sides. Now, I'm still working on it, but the solution is to get a tool, the right tool, and then scratch the sides of the wheels until you get them thin enough for them not to touch anymore the decorative sides. At that point, everything will be resolved. Unfortunately, this tool is not ideal, so I'm still working on getting the wheels thin enough. However, I can guarantee you that that's going to be the right solution because it's working already. I've seen that from having to deal with a lot of friction when I wasn't scratching anything to now where I've been spending a bit of time trying to get the wheels thinner. I can tell you that the improvement is huge, and I just need to work on it another couple of days in order to get it to the optimal solution. Okay, so pretty much that's it. Just one more consideration. Actually, this process is completely reversible, which means that if you have a power function motor and you want to try this modification, you can do it, and then if you're not satisfied or if you want to go back to the original version, you can just simply remove everything you added, and then you will be fine. There has been no permanent modification was made to the motor or to the wheels, to the original wheels, so if you're curious and you want to try it, go for it, because if you're not gonna like it, you can still go back to the previous format. Okay, so guys, I think pretty much that's it. Don't forget to rate, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you later for more videos. Okay, bye bye.